Okay, so welcome everyone. So today we'll be working with Unity. We'll be learning how to do some navigation, some very basic AI. It's called A-star pathfinding. And that's what it's based on. Unity has its own twist that optimizes the search, but basically it's the same idea. If you don't know what A-star pathfinding is, it's basically an algorithm to find the shortest path. There's many algorithms to find which one's the shortest path. A-star, it's the better of both worlds if you're trying to kind of if you want speed and with the dynamic movement. So we're going to look into that today. So let's open up Unity Hub. So you should see this on my screen. So open up Unity Hub, and we're going to create a new project. So click on New. And then, of course, we are working with 3D today. So make sure you have 3D enabled. And then the project, name it Nav Mesh Meshes, I guess. Yeah. So Nav Meshes. Okay. And just click on Create. And then your project should be creating. Just give it a couple of minutes. Just let the little bar to load. And then your project should be open. So just give it a couple of seconds.
It's not letting me make a new project because it says I don't have a license. What does that mean?
Oh, that means you just have to log in with your Google account and just make a license. So on the Unity Hub on the top right, you see there's a icon, like an account icon on the Unity Hub.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, and just click on sign in.
Okay.
Okay, and then once the window pops up, just scroll down and it says log in with Google, and just log in with your Google account.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, and then it's going to ask you questions. Say or select the option where it says Unity Personal, and then I don't use Unity in a professional capacity, and then it should give you a valid license.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Okay, we're just going to give it a couple more seconds just in case your computer's still loading.
My Unity said like it needs an editor update. Should I update it now or later?
Don't update the editor. It takes a long time to update. Yeah, update it in your own time. No, don't update. No updates. If you update it, it takes a long time. Then half of the class you'll be waiting for a bar to fill in.
Now it says that I don't have an editor.
Can you share your screen so I can see what's going on?
Yeah, sure. So when I try to click new, it just goes no editor installed. Please install Unity.
Oh, because you don't have a Unity installed. Click on installs on the bottom left.
Yeah.
So you see, it says no Unity version. So click on add. Why'd you stop sharing? I was seeing your screen.
Sorry.
That's fine. I guess just click on add and just get the newest version and just press next. Yeah, just get the newest and done. Yeah, and just accept and then done. And then, yep. And just, I think it should be, wait, hold on. It's not loading though. Okay, there you go. Now it's loading. Right.
What should we name the project?
I called it Nav Mesh. So navigational meshes, AI, whichever one you like, or my third project. Zane, did you fix your problem too? I think you had the same problem as Reese.
Wait, what problem?
Or sorry, you said you didn't have an editor?
Oh no! My editor wasn't updated to the latest version.
I see.
I had my
Okay.
editor though.
Okay. All right. So everyone else should be there. Reese, you're updating. So just once once it finishes installing, just open up Unity and just let me know, and I can quickly show you,
Okay.
bring you up to speed. Okay. So yeah. So most of you guys are already know how Unity works. On the left hand, we have the hierarchy. In the middle, we have the scene and game. The controls, I like holding Alt and then my mouse, so I can orbit around, zoom in with my right click, or hold my mouse, middle mouse, to pan around. Inspector, the properties of the object, and the bottom is your raw assets. Okay. Yeah, so let's get started with creating our scene, our very basic scene. So let's create a plane, just a 3D object that's a plane. So we're going to go up here to the menu bar, go to Game Object, 3D Object, and then Plane. Oh, sorry, I'm not. Hold on, let me present. My screen wasn't presented. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we're back. So click on Game Object, 3D Object, and then Plane. Okay. So once you have that, it should your scene should look something like this, where you have a square just in the bottom of the scene. So we're going to bring this square to the center of the world. So here on the right-hand side, we have our transform properties, our transform component, and then on position, it's going to have, if yours isn't zeroed out, mine isn't zeroed out, so just zero out all the X, Y, and Z. So we say X is 0, Y is 0, and Z is 0. Your rotation should also be 0, 0, 0, and your scale should be. We're going to change this. We're going to change the scale to 5, 5, 5. Okay, so it's going to be a pretty big square. Okay. And if your scene for some reason is dark, or your white looks like a cream white, that means your lights are not enabled. So on the bottom right of your screen, it says auto generate lighting on. So just double click that. And then down here, there's an option. There's a check mark. You see where my mouse is. It says auto generate. So just make sure that check mark is on. So if that check mark is on, you are going to have light in your scene, and everything's going to look better. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start creating color. I'm going to create 4 colors. Yeah, 4 colors. So to create colors, we need to create materials. So down here on your assets, the project panel, we're going to right click and we're going to create. So you can just right click anywhere in the gray area as long as it's not an object. Create, and then we're going to look for material. Okay. You click on that, and then the new material pops up, and then it says it's highlighted. It says new material, so you can just rename this. I'm just going to name them the color I'm going to assign them. So this is just going to be red. I'm going to right click, create another one, another material. Let's call it this one blue. Right click, create material green. And then I'm going to say yellow. Okay, so now I have my 4 colors. To change my colors, just select on one of the objects, in this case, the color. And then on the right-hand side, the inspector, you have all your properties of that color. Click on your albedo, and then there's a white box. So click on that white box, and then you get a color picker. Okay, and that color picker, just move that. You see the little black circle on the top left. That's the color you're changing. So just move that circle around until you get your preferred color. In this case, this is blue, so I'm going to switch this to blue. Then I'm going to click on green, make this green. Red, and then finally yellow. Make this yellow like this. Okay. You don't have to do these 4 colors. You can do whatever color you want, but these are just examples of the colors you can choose. Okay. Once you have that, just paint your ground green. So you can just click and drag your. Sorry, you don't have to make it green. You can make it whatever color you want. Just click and drag your material into your scene, and it's just going to automatically color it. Okay, so all you have to do is just click and drag it, and it's going to color it, whatever color you have. Okay. I'll give you guys 1 minute to finish this up, and in the chat, just let me know when you're done selecting your 4 colors and then coloring your plane. Okay, does everyone have the color? I just see 4 people and 3 people. That's it. They're done. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Okay, now that I have my colors, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, one, of course, make my player, and second, I'm going to make some objects. So let us create, let's see, let's first create our enemy and our borders. So I'm up here, I'm gonna go to game object, create a 3D, and then a cube. So this cube, I'm gonna bring it up because it was below the plane. And this cube, I'm gonna color it red. And I'm going to rename him as enemy. So up here on the top right on the inspector, it says cube. So I'm going to call this guy enemy. Oh, it doesn't have to be enemy. Maybe we can just call him fan. All he's going to do is just follow you around.
Is there a way to change the size? Because mine's a little small.
The size of what?
The cube.
Yeah, you can change the size here where it says scale. It says 111. You can change it to whatever number you want. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So there you have your cube. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make more cubes. So we're gonna click on game object, create another cube. Okay. And this cube is gonna be my border. So I'm gonna use my scale tool. So I'm gonna press R, and then scale this to be longer, something like this, like maybe 10, like that. So it's like a perfect number. And then I'm gonna make this just like that. Actually, that's fine. Yeah, and I'm gonna color this blue. I'm gonna make so I'm gonna make maybe 3 of them. Yeah, so I'm gonna make 3 of them. So let's see. So all I'm gonna do is highlight the object. Just press Control D to duplicate, and then duplicate again. I'm gonna do something like that. Where I have my cubes like this.
What's happening?
Just make sure you create your game. Open up a new game. Sorry, make a new project. In that project, just make a plane and then three cubes and just make 4 colors, and that's where we are. We haven't done anything else. Okay. So now that we have those three borders, we're gonna create more. We're gonna create 2 cubes that move from left to right here, and then left to right here also. So we're gonna put this in a parent. So to do this, right click or just create on game object and then create empty. Okay. And then this object, what we're gonna do is we're gonna click and drag your 3 objects. So click your 3 cubes, and then click and drag them inside game object. Okay. And now we have these 3 objects as a child. So now when I move game object, it moves all 3 of them. So you don't have to move them individually. Okay, so what I did is just create a game object. So game object create empty, and then highlight the 3 cubes, and then click and drag it into game object. Okay. The next thing we're gonna do is create. Yeah. We should probably do prefabs. Yes, we should. We should do prefabs. Okay, we're gonna do prefabs. So we're gonna click on game object, create a 3D cube, another cube, and then this cube, like I said, it's going to be moving from left to right like this. Basically, it's just gonna block the path of the enemy, so he has to swivel around, and then we're gonna test our navigation like that. So let's bring this down around here. Okay, like that. Okay. And I'm going to color this cube yellow. And then I'm going to make 2 different, or 2 game objects inside the or not inside the cube. They have to be in the same position so the cube doesn't go in a weird direction. Or I mean, you can just click on game object and create empty. So just create 2 empties. The first one is going to be called point A, and the second one is going to be point B. And then just like you did with the borders, create a parent. So we're going to click. To make this easier, I'm just going to right click on cube and then create empty. So then this empty, it's zeroed out exactly at the center of the cube. So you don't have to worry about centering. So I'm just going to drag it out now and then drag those 3 things, the cube, point A, point B, inside game object. Okay, so that's a little tricky. So this is what I did. Click on the cube, right click on cube, and then create empty. Okay, so it creates an empty game object right in the center of the cube. Once that is created, click and drag it outside into the hierarchy, so it becomes its own parent. So it doesn't have a parent. And then click the 3 objects, point A, point B, and cube, and then drag it inside the game object. So now this becomes the parent. Okay. Here we're going to rename this. I'm just not going to. I don't like it to be called just game object. So I'm going to call this moving object.
Right. Where did point A and point B come from?
Point A and point B are just empty game objects. So all I did is just right-click, create empty, right-click, create empty,
Okay.
and I just named them point A and point B. I haven't gotten to where to put them. Yeah, they're just empty objects. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna pause there for a bit, and then just let me know if you reach this point.
Fernando, is it normal for this to take this long when installing Unity?
Yeah, it usually takes, depends on your internet speed and your computer's processing power. It may take up to like 45 minutes to install. How do you make the color? To make the colors, right-click down here on the gray area on your project folder, and then click on Create and then Material.
The next census is in spring 2020.
Fernando,
Yes.
how do you like move around? Do you use the arrow keys?
No, I use my mouse. If you're
Do you
using if you're
hold
using a
right-click?
if you're using a trackpad, that's bad. I would recommend you getting a mouse. But if you're just using a mouse and keyboard, what I do to move around is hold Alt on the keyboard. So,
Okay.
and then click my mouse, my left click, and then move around. So click and drag, and then I can orbit around your object.
Oh.
So whatever
okay.
whatever you're focused on, yeah. And then to pan around, if you have a mouse wheel, you can click that mouse wheel, and then the hand will pop up, and then you can pan around your object. And then to zoom in, you can just use the mouse wheel to move forward, or still holding Alt, right click, and go forward and back. I mean left and right,
Okay.
and then you
Do you
should be
ever,
able to zoom.
Do you ever like just hold down right click and do that?
No, I don't do this because this is very disorienting. If I right click, this is orbiting around yourself. So I mean, not orbiting around the surface, it's just rotating about your axis. I like using the Alt because Alt, you're focusing on something. You're not focusing on yourself. Yeah. But if you move around with the right and then you're fine with it, that's totally fine. I hate the right click and moving around. This is completely disorienting for me.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. Someone had a question. What is point A and point B? Point A and point B are just empty game objects. So all you do is just right click, create empty, right click, create empty, and then just call it point A and point B. It has nothing inside. It's just empty objects. Okay. Okay, so once we're done with this, what we want to do is we want to position our point A and point B in the correct location. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to click on point A. And of course, just make sure it's renamed. I called it point A. And then here on the left-hand side, it's going to be a cube. I think the newer versions have another icon, but mine is a white box. So just click on that white cube, and then you can select an icon. And just select whatever icon you like. This circular rectangles, or the long ellipses, whatever shape that is. It's a rounded rectangle. Okay, so once you have that, then you should see on your screen it says point A, and it's whatever icon you chose. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that point A to where our desired first destination is going to be. So I'm going to put it somewhere around here on my left side of the block here, and then I'm going to do the same thing to my point B. So I'm going to select another icon. It can be the same color, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to drag it to my right. So basically, I'm just putting markers where point A and point B is going to be. Okay. Make sure you don't put point A and point B too close to the wall, because then the cube is gonna run into the wall, and you don't want that. Okay. It's going to look something like this, where you have point A and you have point B. Okay, and then this cube is now going to be moving from point A and point B. Okay. Once you have that,
I can't see like the labels I added. Oh, sorry. Like I added like a yellow tag, but for some reason I can't see it on the point A.
If you can't see your things, click here on because you might be either too zoomed out. So zoom in just a bit. If it doesn't appear at all, on your scene tab, take a look at my screen. On the scene tab, you have a button called Gizmos. Make sure that's enabled. So just click on it, and then there's a little drop-down arrow. Click on that, and then uncheck 3D icons.
Okay.
And then all your icons should appear.
Oh yeah, now I see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a script to this. This script, we already went through it previous class, and that's the same thing with the player movement. So I'm going to share a link through the chat. Just click on that link, and it'll open up a Google Drive. Download both scripts. I suggest you downloading each one individually. And then all you have to do is just click and drag it into the scene here. And then you should have both scripts. We are going to write scripts today, but we're not focusing on player movement or platform movement. We did that with a previous class.
Wait, so what scripts should we add in? Sorry to interrupt. What script should we drag in?
I'm gonna share it right now on the Google Drive.
Okay.
So I just shared a link. Everyone click on that link, and then in that Google Drive you have player movement.cs, and then oh sorry, I think I put both of them. Oh, hold on. Don't download anything yet. The other one should be platform movement. I got the wrong script. Just a moment.
I see platform movement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting blind. Yeah, it's platform movement and player movement.
Gotcha.
For some reason, I read player movement. Yeah, so download each one. I suggest you downloading each one individually. Don't download them at the same time, because then Google tries to zip them, and then it takes forever to download. Okay, so once you have that, just click and drag. If you're using Google Chrome, it's very easy. Just click and drag it into the scene. Not in the scene, sorry, into the assets down here. Yeah, and you should have 2 C# scripts like I do. I think for the newest Unity version, now you just have a giant hashtag.
When I try to download the file, it says you need access.
Try refreshing the page.
Okay. No, it still doesn't work. Oh wait, I think I know. I just realized why. I'm using my school account. It's probably like blocking it. I'll just
I
switch
see.
it. That's probably it.
Yeah, do you have another account you can log into?
Yeah, I have a personal account.
Okay. Just for the download. Okay, so once you have that downloaded, oops. Okay, so once you have that downloaded, what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on our cube. Make sure you click on your cube, not the parent. The parent should be empty. See how this one says moving object and it's completely empty? That's what we need. The cube though, that's the one we need to add the script on. So just click and drag your platform movement in your objects and your components here. And then once that's done, you have 2 options that it says none transform. It says point A, none transform, and then point B, none transform. So it's asking where's point A and where's point B. So what you need to do is on the left-hand side, on the hierarchy, click and drag point A to the right-hand side on the script, wherever point A is. So you have now, you're pointing a reference to point A. Same thing with point B. Click and drag it. Click and drag your mouse all the way to the right to point B, and then drag it into where it says point B.
Wait,
so now you have reference between point A and point B.
Wait,
so now
for the
when
cube, should it be platform or player movement?
Platform. We're not doing the player movement yet. We're just doing platform.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you press play, now you should see something like this, like in my screen, where you have the platform that's moving left and right.
Wait, what are we supposed to do with the points?
Just click and drag your points, point A and point B, into your script. Like I said, your script is here. You see where I'm pointing my mouse?
Yeah.
You just click and drag point A and point B that are here on the left-hand side. So make sure you have cube, and then click and drag point A and B, or point A first, and then drag it into the correct slot on the right-hand side.
Oh yeah, okay, I see that.
What position is your camera on? Is your main camera on? Just wondering.
My camera is on 0, 1, -10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now
How
it's
do you get the
around.
script to the thing?
I'm sorry?
How do you get the script?
The scripts, you have to download it from Google Drive. So I shared a link. It's on
Yeah,
the
I
Google
did.
Drive. Okay. Just download them,
I got
and then
Notepad.
no, you probably open them. Don't open them. Just click and drag it into Unity.
Oh, okay.
And you should have the C# scripts. Okay. So I'm gonna pause here, and then let me know. You have to have this working. So your cubes have to be going left and right like this. Okay. Let me know if something doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
Fernando?
Oh sorry. Yeah.
My cube's just flying. It's pretty funny.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a question on something, just share your screen. It's just gonna be there, and just let me know when you're ready, or when I'm done with the other student, and then I can help you out.
Okay, so this is... Yeah. Okay, so can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, so... It just does that.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, stop playing. I think what you did is you accidentally made this a player. You have a character controller for some reason. Delete that. You don't need it.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
And the rigid body, you also don't need it. Yeah, and then the next thing you have the main camera on the cube.
Yeah, I
Do you
just
want-
wanted to see. I couldn't see it earlier.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we're good.
It's working. All right, perfect. All right, anyone else has questions? I think someone chat. I put on chat. Point A and point B. Like I said, you click and drag point A, point B from the hierarchy. Okay, so click on your cube, and then click and drag point A into the point A slot on the right-hand side. Okay, so all you're doing is click and dragging to the correct slot.
Not that. I want to know, like, where do you put A, point B?
Oh, point A and point B and the cube should all be under one empty parent. So this empty parent, I just called it moving object. And then inside moving object, I put cube, point A, and point B.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When I run my program, the camera view's in like kind of a weird view. It's like off in the distance, kinda.
Okay, if you guys are having camera issues, don't worry too much about it right now. We're going to fix it with our player. Once we bring in our player, we can roam around the world, and then we can see what's going on.
Okay.
Wait, how do you get the scripts to the component?
All you have to do, so just click on your cube, and then click and drag your platform move into this kind of gray area, or just click on add component, and then type in platform movement, and it should appear. It should be a C# script. Just click on it, and it should add it.
I don't have it here.
Do you want to share your screen so I can see what's going on?
Yeah, sure. I completely do.
Just give me a moment, Adrian. Let me just help Molly, and then I'll come to you. Can you share your screen too, Adrian, so I can see what's going on? Okay, let's see what you have. Okay, click on your cube. Scroll down.
Yeah.
Okay, add component. Oh, you have an error with your player movement. Wait. Click on it. Player movement. No, platform movement. Oh, I see. You downloaded it in a weird place. Delete those two. Or no, sorry. Click on assets. Yeah, see, you already have them there. For some reason, you have them in the scene folder. So double click on scenes. Yeah, and then delete those two scripts. You have the doubles. Yeah. Now it should go. Now you're able to select it. So click on your cube now. Okay, scroll down and then click on add component, and then type in platform. It's still not there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Go back to assets. Yeah, and then just click and drag that platform into. Yeah, click and drag it to the right. Yeah, right there. Cannot move. Oh, okay. Just press OK. Press OK. Okay, right click on the platform movement. And then rename. And then go all the way to the back, to the end. And then erase the, there's a parentheses and a 1. So use your arrow keys, go all the way to the right. Yeah, and then erase that parentheses 1. Yeah, just like that. Do the same thing with player movement. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Now it should compile. Okay, good. It compiled. So now click on your cube and then add component again. And then there you go. Platform movement.
Oh,
now
okay.
it's available.
Okay.
Yeah. And now click and drag point A and point B in the correct location.
Where?
To the right. All the way to the right. Move your mouse all the way to the right. Go, go, go. Keep going. Keep going. It's just point A. Put it in where it says none. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh,
the same
okay.
thing would be. All right, good. Now press play, and it should work. Okay. Oh,
Why
I
is
see.
it falling?
Okay, stop playing. Because you didn't put the parents correctly. So click on right click on moving object. Create empty. Okay, now click and drag game object and drag it to the left. That's right. Left. Just below it, right below it. Yeah, a little. Yeah, there you go. So now you unparented. Okay, now click on point A and point B and drag it inside game object. Inside, no. Click and drag it. Like hover over the name. Yeah, click and drag it and hover over the name. No.
What?
No. Okay, click it. Click and drag into game object. There you go. There you go.
Oh.
And then the same thing with moving object. There you go. Perfect. Now press play. Now it should work.
My cube isn't stopping when it hits the reference point.
Is it working? I'll be there in a moment. Is it working? Molly?
No.
Like
I can't even find my cube. Like it's just flying away.
Okay, stop playing.
Stop playing.
Can you hold Alt? Can you hold Alt and then move around? Yeah. Can you click on point A and point B? Oh, there you go. They're on the bottom. They're on the floor. They're below the ground. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, just like yeah. So hold Alt and then move around. You should always see the perspective. Yeah, you were just watching everything from one perspective. Now move around in the camera and then see if it's in the correct location. See? Okay, so you have to work with that. Just make sure everything's in the correct location. All right. I'm gonna help Adrian. Adrian, do you want to share your screen?
I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, that's fine. So just fix that, and it should fix your problem. Adrian, you want to share your screen? I guess he's busy. Edward, do you want to share your screen? Or you were asking for help? Okay. So someone else shared screen. Okay, that's fine. Okay, what's wrong with the yellow cube? Oh, okay. Stop playing. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, stop playing.
I know I'm trying to, but my computer has some issues with trying to stop it.
Ah, I see.
And whenever my mouse just disappears.
I don't know about that. I don't know what's wrong with it. That's a computer thing.
Oh, it's stuck in the middle.
Well, yeah, it's just yeah. So click on your cube. Yeah, scroll down. What's wrong? Oh, you have player movement. That's why. You grabbed the wrong script. So right, yeah. Click on that. Remove. Yeah, remove. Click on the 3 dots and then just remove it.
Oh.
No. Okay. Press escape. Your top left. Yeah. Now click on your cube. Yeah, and then scroll down and then remove character controller. So click on the three dots. Yeah. Remove rigid body. Okay, and then that should work. Press play. There you
go. Fernando, Unity just finished downloading for me.
Okay, well, it's done installing?
Yeah.
Okay. Adrian, the last thing you need to do is make sure all the point A and point B are in the right position. It looks like point B is too low. That's what's going underneath underground. And then okay, so is that everyone? Everyone's working?
My yellow cube is just flipping through the blue wall, not coming back.
Okay, can you share your screen so I can see what's going on? Okay, stop playing. Let's see. Click on cube. Okay, click on game object, the parent. Yeah, you have it in the wrong object. So click on the triple dots. Yeah, click on the triple dots on the right. No, don't uncheck it. On the triple dots, and then click on copy component. Yeah, and then go to cube. Yeah, and then no, click on the triple dots on where it says yellow. Yeah, and then paste material. No, sorry, the one above it, box slider. The triple dots on the box slider. Yeah, and then paste component values as new. Yeah, okay, and then go on the top. Yeah, and then remove on the click on the game object. Yeah, and then remove the platform. Yeah, okay. Now press play. Now it should work.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, the reason why I was doing that because you had this you had the script on the parent, so the whole parent was moving, so the positions were also moving, so you never get to your destination. Okay. All right, so we're gonna resume. So now that we have this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start going into the mesh navigation. Oh, actually, sorry. But one last thing is we're gonna create our character so we can see everything, what's going on. So we have our camera, and what we're gonna do is of course add our player. So we're gonna just add a capsule. So just click on game object, 3D object, and then capsule. Okay, this is going to be our player, representation of player. Of course, you can color this. I'm just going to keep it white. No, actually, I'm going to color it red. Okay, so this is my player. And then with my player, just click on add component and then look for player movement. Okay, once you have player movement, then these two objects should appear automatically. It's called rigid body and character controller. Just make sure those are there, and then player movement. Okay. Once you have that, just click in your camera on the hierarchy. Click and drag your camera into your capsule. Okay, and then move your or zero out your camera. I like zeroing out my camera first, and then pull back your camera. So with the W, or if you press the move tool. Just pull it out and just have your character something like this, where the camera is higher than the player, so it's looking at what the player is looking at, and then back, so it's looking at the back of the player. So now when you press play, the camera should be on the player, and now you're able to rotate, and then move around. I forgot to disable my my thing. Okay, one thing you guys have to do is on your capsule, click on constraints under the rigid body, and then freeze X, Y, and Z rotation. Okay. Once you have that, now you're able to rotate correctly. Yeah. So now I'm able to rotate. I'm able to move. I'm able to jump. Okay. And yeah, I'm able to interact with the world. Okay.
Sorry, where do you freeze the constraints again?
The constraints are under the constraints are under the rigid body.
Oh, under the rigid body. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
then
make sure you have your player working.
Okay.
Where do we drag the camera to?
The camera should be a child of the capsule. So click it underneath capsule.
Okay.
So inside capsule, not underneath. Inside
camera?
Capsule. The main camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you let the character like move around?
So
How
like
do
I
you set
said,
it?
I'm sorry?
How do you set the character?
So like I said, on the capsule, so make sure you have a capsule. And then on the capsule, add the script called player movement.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And then these two things should appear automatically. It's called rigid body and character controller. Inside rigid body, there's an option called constraints. Click on the little arrow, and then it says freeze rotation, and then check X, Y, and Z.
Okay. Oh wait, I put it on the main camera. That's the wrong one.
No, yeah, make sure everything's on the capsule.
Somehow my capsule doesn't recognize player movement as.
Make sure you have click on the bottom project folder, and then click on player movement, and make sure player movement, it just says player movement. You guys might have downloaded it last week, and it might have parentheses 1. So just right click, rename, erase the parentheses and the 1, and it should compile.
If the camera isn't showing the capsule, is that bad, or can we just do it from first person mode?
That just means you have did you zero out your camera?
Let me check. I did.
Yeah, so okay, so your camera is inside the capsule, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so on your camera, just make sure your X, Y, Z is 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then press the W key. That's the move tool, and just pull back. Click on the blue arrow and just pull it back.
Oh,
and
just pull it back. Okay.
Yeah, just pull it back. Yeah, now you're in the negative, right behind the character.
Gotcha.
And then what I did is just pull it back and then pull it up, so it can just like looking at the player.
Cool.
Like behind the shoulder. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, where do you set the freeze thing? Like freeze the player or something?
The player, it's click on capsule, and it should be rigid body. Under rigid body, there's a property called constraints, and then click on the little arrow, and it says freeze rotation X, Y, and Z. Do you see it?
No. Oh, constraints?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I check everything.
No. Only check rotation, not position. You see there's a row for position and row for rotation. Only check the rotation X, Y, Z. Okay, Adrian, what's your question? You said my capsule moves left and right when I want it to go up and down. What do you mean?
These directions are sort of messed up.
Okay, can you share your screen so I can see what's going on?
Oh. Do you see it?
Okay, yeah, I see it.
I'm pressing down right now, but instead I'm moving right. I mean, I'm pressing up right now.
You're pressing, okay. Stop playing.
Sorry.
Yeah, click on capsule on the left. Scroll down. Click on your camera. Okay, yeah, there's your problem. You have a weird rotation. It's 270 degrees on your y-axis. Make it a 0.
Oh.
Yeah, see, it's facing the wrong way. You still have to fix it, though. Stop playing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're facing in the wrong way. Stop playing. Yeah, click on your camera. Okay, press F to zoom in. Yeah, and then, yeah, pull it back. Yeah, yeah, see, you're much too much to the left, yeah. Now go a little bit forward. Yeah, there you go. Is it working?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, make sure you guys don't have rotations on your camera. You might have a weird rotation on your camera. That's why you're being disoriented with some weird location. Just share your screen so I can see what's going on.
Mine is really weird.
What happened? Share your screen.
Like
share your screen,
like,
Reese. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Molly. Hold Reese, once that's installed, just open up Unity and just I'll help you along. Just make a new Unity. Make sure everything is 3D. Yeah, you're there. Okay, let me just help Molly, and then I'll bring you up to speed. So just get familiar with moving around in the Unity. Molly, what's wrong? Can you share your
So
screen
I just
too?
have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you press W to move it?
Yeah, you can press W, or you can use the arrow keys.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Fernando, for some reason
Yeah.
my controls are inverted, but I already freezed all the restraints.
Can you share your screen, Zane?
Yeah. I'm sharing it right now. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, just when I play, right now I'm hitting W, but I'm going backwards. And then when I hit S, I go forwards. And then when I hit D, I go left, and A, I go right.
Okay, stop playing. Okay, click on your main camera. Yeah, so your main camera has a weird rotation on the y-axis. It says 181.20 something. Change that to 0. Okay. Now your camera should be facing the correct location. So just can you move your scene around? Yeah, your camera should be behind your player.
Oh, so I put the player like behind the camera instead of in front.
You put yeah. No. Click on your click on your camera first.
Okay.
Okay, make it move left. So click on the red arrow. Yeah, keep going.
And then like that.
Yeah, then pull it back. I think that's right. Yeah, keep pulling it back.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. Now press play.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Hold on for. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna close my my thing for a bit. Reese, I'm gonna share my project with you. You can just open it on your side, so you can quickly catch up.
How do I
So it's gonna be on the Google Drive. Google Drive. Can you go back to the Google Drive?
Okay.
The link I shared, right? Do you have it?
I don't think I have a link that you shared.
Go to the chat, and then
Yeah.
there's a link I posted. Just click on that.
Oh, it says I need access.
Try to log in with
I got it.
Okay. And it says it's called Nav Meshes.zip. Just right click and then download it. Okay. And then let me know when it's done, okay? So we can continue.
All right.
Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so so everyone should have their player control working. So like I said, you can just press play, and you can walk around the world, and you can see your cube moving from left to right, and then your other cube. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the mesh. So I would like everyone to click on their green cube or the plane. Okay, can you share your screen, Reese?
Yes.
Okay, so click on your plane, and then on your plane, on the top right, there's going to be next to the name. There's a small check mark that says static. Check that box. Okay. So what that means is this object is not going to move, and so so when we create the mesh, so the character can move around, Can you click and drag it into the desktop? Click and drag that into desktop. Yeah. Yeah. So when you click, when you click static, that just means whenever you create the object, this whenever it's calculating the path, it's going to ignore this. It's going to carve a path for the object to move around. So you'll see this when we start baking our mesh. So now click on your 3 cubes also, and then also check the little check mark on the top right. So make sure it's static. Okay. So these objects are not going to move. Hey, Reese, is it done?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, just click on Unity, go to Unity Hub, and then just press Add. No, okay. Okay, and go to desktop. Yeah, and then click Selector. Okay, just click on it. No, don't press Install. Click on Select Version. Yeah, just click Newest Version, and just click on that. Yeah, just press Confirm. Yeah, because I have an older version of Unity. Okay, just let it load, and you'll be exactly where I am. You're using my project. Okay, so yeah, so make sure you have the 3 objects, the 4 objects. Make sure the check mark is clicked. Once that's clicked, the next thing we're going to do is generate a mesh. So click on Window. Someone's thing is.
Wait, are the blue cubes the only one that have to be static?
No, it's the 3 cubes and the plane.
Oh, and the plane.
Yeah, do not make this the cube that moves left and right. That is not static. Only the 3 blue. For me on my screen, it's the 3 blue cubes. So it's the long cubes and the plane that are static. Okay. So once you have that, click on Window, and then go to AI, and then look for Navigation. Once you have that, this window will pop up. It's going to be right next to your inspector. And then you have 4 buttons. It has Agents, Area, Bake, and Object. Okay, we're going to click on Bake. And this is basically where Unity is going to start doing the, it's going to draw the mesh, and that's basically where the player can move. So we're going to click on Bake. There's a button that says Clear and Bake. Just click on Bake, and it's going to bake a nav mesh. So now if you take a look, the traversable space, or basically the space that the AI can move, is everything that's highlighted in blue. And if you zoom in on the cubes that we made static, you see how it carved a kind of a hole around the object. So now the object is going to avoid, or cannot go through that object. The path is invalid, so it has to go around in order to go to its destination. Okay. So let me know if this works for you. Oh, sorry, were you not able to see my screen? Dang. I need to go back to my presentation. Were you guys able to do it, or you want me to show you again? Okay. Zane did it.
Fernando, mine doesn't.
Mine doesn't.
Fernando, mine doesn't really show the holes or whatever.
Are you sure that you click on it? You clicked on it, and then there's a little check mark on the top right. It says static.
For which one?
For
the plane,
yeah,
right?
for the 3 cubes. So in my screen, they're the 3 blue cubes, and then the plane. Nothing's happening when you click on Bake, Adrian. Can you share your screen so I can see what's going on?
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so first let's click on your plane. Yeah, click on inspector. Scroll up. Yeah, you see how it doesn't say static? Check mark the static box. Yeah, and the same thing with the green cubes. No. Each one individually. Yeah. There you go. Now click on navigation. Okay, now bake.
Oh, okay.
Are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. And Parashar, did you fix your problem?
No, it's still not working.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Or would you? May you?
Okay.
Okay. And then you click bake and nothing happens, right? Oh.
Oh,
It does
okay,
work.
okay. Right. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Let me go back to my presentation. So everyone else is working, right? Okay. Now the next thing. Okay. Let me resume my presentation. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do, so now that our mesh is made, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make this enemy come alive. We're gonna write our first script that is going to ask the player go around this and then look for the player. Oh, one more thing, I wanted because we wanted another cube on the other side. Just duplicate your moving object. So just click on moving object or whatever you named it. If it's still game object, press Control D and you duplicate it. Once you have that, just move it to the right, or if you don't have the second object, to place it like this. So there's now two objects that are going left and right. The whole purpose of this is to see if the character or the AI is going to avoid these blocks, because these are dynamic blocks. They're dynamic as they move. Okay. Now let's add our AI. So click on your box on your cube, and make sure it's called enemy, and then click on add component. And the component we're going to add is called Nav Mesh Agent. Okay, Nav Mesh Agent. Okay, and then when you have it, it should look something like this, just like a cube and a circle. So the circle part is your agent. Basically, that's the one that is the AI that is going to look for the path. Okay, so once we have that, click on add component. And we're gonna create a scene. Sorry, let me go over the settings first. So here we have our Nav Mesh Agent. Here we can control how fast the object is going to follow or go to its destination. Right now it's at 3.5. You can change it, make it go faster or slower. Angular speed, 120, how fast it rotates. This is not going to face your direction. This is just rotating toward, because it's always going forward. So it's going to rotate its direction to make a turn, but it's not. I don't think it's going to always face where its direction. It's where you want it to go. If you want it to face a certain direction, you have to change it through code. Acceleration, how fast it's going to get. How fast is it going to go from 0 to top speed, which is 3.5, or whatever speed you have. Stopping distance, I would like everyone to change the stopping distance to maybe 3. Yeah, just 3. If you put 0, it means it wants to go to that exact location, because it's going to follow you. You're a capsule and you're kind of chubby. So that means you can't, that circle always wants to get like right below you, right inside you, but it can't because you have physical barriers. So you just put 3 units apart. So whenever it reaches at least 3 units away from you, then it's going to stop the following, stop going looking for you. And then we have obstacle avoidance. We have a radius, height, and quality. Our radius, we're going to change it later. Radius, usually having a bigger radius is a good idea, so it avoids bumping into the edges. And And then the height, if you have a higher character, just add a higher height. Quality, just leave it at high quality. Your computers can't take it. Usually this calculation doesn't take too much CPU. It's pretty simple. And then priority, if you have other objects that are at different, or who should take, let's just say, like you have a bridge, and we're going to get to that, links. So if you need to jump from one point to another, and if you point different priorities, so let's just say this is priority 50, this is going to be, if whatever priority 1 is going to jump first, if they're all in a pool, and then the second one, and so on and so forth. And then pathfinding, off-mesh links, and repaths, don't worry about that. That is just the other options that if you want the object to continuously look for a new path with dynamic stuff. And we're just going to leave that on because, you know, that's how our AI is going to work. Okay, so that's that. We're going to add a component, and we're going to make a new script. So we're going to call this script NME AI. Just click on new script. Okay, and then click on create an ad. Okay, when you create an ad, now you have this empty script. So just double click where it says NME AI. Okay, and then Visual Studio should show up. Reese, are you able to follow along with the thing you downloaded?
What should we name the new script? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
enemy
able
AI.
to.
Yeah, I just called it NME AI.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we're adding the script on the enemy cube, right?
Yeah. So make sure you have the enemy cube selected. We're adding a component. Make sure Nav Mesh Agent is on there, and then we're creating a new script called Enemy AI. Okay.
I only got Notepad.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have Notepad. I gotta help you after class.
Do I have to download something?
Yeah, I'll help you after class to download that Visual Studio. Because you should have Visual Studio installed. Makes this easier. So just open up Notepad. Just I'll paste it into. Okay, if you go back to the Google Drive, I'll have a Google Doc, and in that Google Doc, I'll paste all my code, so you can just copy and paste that into your Notepad. But just pay attention to what I'm typing, so you know what's going on. Okay, so we have our enemy AI.
I'm sorry, but right as I was gonna go in, it says that Visual Studio needs, or sorry, my computer needs to be restarted before Visual Studio can run, because this is the first time I'm installing it. Should I restart my computer?
I think it should open without restarting. Can you press no and then try to open it again?
I'll try.
When I added enemy AI, the script didn't automatically pop up. Is there a way to just manually open it?
Yeah, from Unity, you mean?
Yeah, from Unity.
Yeah, from Unity, you should have enemy AI down here on the project folder. Just double click it and it should open up.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I can't click no or anything. It's just okay.
Just restart then, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Are you able to restart? Okay, well, I guess you restarted. Okay, okay. So now that you have enemy AI, what we want to do is we want to have our destination. What is our destination? And then, of course, our agent. What are we controlling? Now, to control our agent, our Nav Mesh Agent, Unity has changed all its libraries. So now you have to import the correct library. So after using Unity Engine, we're going to import another library using Unity Engine.ai. Okay. Once you have that, let's go inside the class. Okay, we're not going inside the functions. We're going inside the class. So you guys should start getting familiar with this. And most of you guys are doing Java. So you guys should try to remember where you put this class stuff and then function stuff. So inside the class, we're going to declare two variables. Our first one is going to be a private. It's going to be a private Nav Mesh Agent. Okay, and it's going to be called, I'm just going to call it agent. Okay. Next, we're going to say it's going to be a private transform. So we want position, rotation, and scale. And this one's going to be called player. Now, the next thing we need to do is go inside our start function. Inside our start function, we need to define what is agent and what is player. So agent already lives inside the enemy AI. So if you guys take a look, if I go back to Unity and I click on my my enemy, so my enemy, you see how my script and my Nav Mesh Agent are in the same object. So I can just look for the component and it's going to find it. It's going to be in the same level. If I have it in my child, then I have to look for child, or if it's my parent, I have to look it into my parent. But luckily, I have it in the same level, same hierarchy, same object. Sorry, I can just say get component. I do less than sign, greater than sign. Inside the less than greater than sign, it's a template. So I'm going to look for the object called Nav Mesh Agent. Okay, and open close parentheses, okay. And then semicolon. Once that is done, you should yeah, that gets your agent, and we're going to do a similar thing with your player. We're going to say player equals, and now with our player, we do have to find it because our player is not in our in the same object. So we're going to say game object dot find find game object with tag. Okay, open close parentheses, and inside we have quotation marks, and then the object we're looking for is called player with the tag. Sorry, the game object with the tag player. Okay, and then finally we need dot transform. We need the transform object of that player because we're looking for a transform. Okay, so here all we're doing is we're saying the game object, the main game object class, look for an object with a tag called player, and then graph me that transform, and that is now stored in player. Okay. Once that is done, inside the update function, we want to continuously keep moving towards the player. So we're just going to say agent dot set destination. Then our destination is going to be our player dot position. Okay, and then semicolon. The agent is the one that controls the enemy's AI. This is just telling it where to go, and then the agent is the one doing all the calculations. So you have your position, transform that position, and then your destination, which is the player that position. So then the AI, the nav mesh, does all the calculation where to go through the mesh, the mesh, and then this is C#. Then it's gonna go, it's gonna calculate the path, and then it's gonna follow that path. It's gonna create nodes. So this is, I don't know if the Java class is gonna go through the type of data class, data types. Yeah. But that's a pretty advanced stuff. I'm not going to go through it. It's like college level stuff, nodes, going through a tree. Yeah, I think it's called a tree. A set of data. Anyways. Okay, so once you have that, just press Control S, save. Molly, I'm just going to copy this and paste it into the document. So you can just copy it from there. And make sure you put it inside this curly braces, Molly. It has to say public class and whatever you named it, mono behavior. And then the curly braces, make sure they're there. And then everything inside, just paste it. Let me know if you have any questions, Molly. Okay, so now if you go back to Unity. Okay, so now your enemy should be able to work, except it's now going to look for someone with a tag called player. To save, you press Control S. Now to look for the player, you click on your player. Your player, mine is just called capsule. First, I'm going to name it player. So change the name player. And then right underneath where you called it player, it's called tag. Click on that drop down, and then there's a tag called player. Make sure you tag it as player. So the name is going to be player, and the tag is going to be player. Okay. So now when you press play, now if you look, your cube is now going to be following you. So if you see my screen, I don't know if you can see, but the cube is slowly following me. I could jump over this, and it's going to look for me. If I go around, it's going to continuously look for me. Avoid this. It's going to look for me. Of course, there's...
I have a
yeah.
couple. Wait. Yeah, sorry, I have a couple of errors. Should I just share?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know one of these is probably either one of the curly brackets or looks like a parenthesis. I think.
Yeah, you forgot a semicolon at the end of AI.
AI. Here.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And then using is lowercase u.
Oh. Where's using?
The fourth
Oh.
line. Yeah.
It auto corrects the caps for some reason. And then,
I see. Yeah, you should stay after class, and I'll help you install a thing for this. Or you know what you can do is, yeah, I'll help you install the. I
Okay.
think Visual Studio should be able to work in Mac.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
And I think you spelled enemy wrong. Does it say
Spelled
enemy?
wrong?
Yeah. What does that say? Enemy AI?
Yeah.
Is it the same name? Okay. It just looks weird. The font looks weird.
Yeah.
So. I think that's it. Plus Control S to save.
Yeah.
Okay, go back.
Okay.
And see if it will compile.
All right. Oh, and then just this.
Don't worry about that. That's just.
Don't worry about that. All right. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need help with the script, you can also just copy it through the Google Drive. So just go to the Google Drive, the link I shared, and just there's a Word document. Just open it up, and then I have the code there.
Gotcha. All right.
Mhm.
I'll just stay after class to see if I can get the other thing you mentioned.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
My script is working, but it doesn't. It just stays in the same spot.
Okay. Can you share your screen, Edward?
Okay.
So what do you mean where? Okay, share your screen. Okay, can you press play? Oh, you don't have the script on, so stop playing. Yeah, you see on the right, it just says Nav Mesh Agent, but it doesn't say anything else. So add the component. Add component.
I'll add the script.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Now it should work.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever you're going, it's gonna go. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you have lighting off. You want to turn on your lighting, or if you're cool with that, that's fine too. It pushed you. Okay.
What?
Oh, you have lighting off. You want to turn on your lighting?
Should I delete the directional light?
No, to turn on your lighting, click on Window. Yeah, and then look for rendering and lighting. And then there's a check mark all the way in the bottom. It says auto generate. Yeah. And just give it a couple of seconds, and it should give you a nice light. Better lighting.
It's working.
Yeah.
Is the script for the enemy AI also in the Google Drive?
Yeah, it's also in the Google Drive. Yeah. So if you look at the it's called Untitled Document, and just copy and paste that and put it inside your script.
Okay.
Yeah, Edward, you just gotta give it a couple of seconds to bake the whole light. Yeah, it just does it once and that's it. It's not like our other terrain project where it took like a bunch of time. This is just do it once and then that's it. Okay. Anyone else has problems with your AI?
My script got like, it says cannot directly contain members.
Yeah, okay, you probably pasted it wrong. Can you share your screen?
Okay.
Okay. Can you go to your notepad?
This. Oh my god. Let me close some of them.
Yeah. Close that. Close all your stuff. You still have it open. Nice. Just press note, don't save. Yeah. Okay, now open up your enemy AI. Okay. Enemy AI. Okay. Because I wanted you to just paste the stuff out there. Okay, let me go back to Google Drive and copy everything again. You're just supposed to put it inside the class, not copy everything. Yeah. I mean, destroy everything. Okay, copy everything. Okay, copy, and then put it inside your script. Yeah. Oh.
This?
Yeah, just replace everything. Yeah, and then save it. You didn't save it. No, it's already open. No. Okay. Close the other one. Yeah, press save. Yeah, to close this one. Okay. Now let it compile. And that should be it. It says unexpected character. Quotation mark. Double click on enemy AI. This is line 2. Can you go down? Use your arrow key. Go down one line. Yeah, press backspace. Okay, now press Control S. Okay, now go back to Unity. Does it still give you a weird error? Okay, double click on that again. I mean, open up. Yeah. Okay, it says line 2.8. No, it's line 1.8. Do I have a weird character? I don't have a weird character. Can you delete everything? Just press Control A. Okay, delete everything. Okay, now paste. Control V. Okay, save. Control S. Okay, now go back to Unity. Okay, press play. The heck? Okay, let me post the link. It's the same thing. Oh, there you go. Okay, stop playing.
It's not like loading.
Yeah, I know. Stop playing.
Um,
Yeah, it's telling you click on your enemy. Okay, scroll down on the inspector. Scroll up just a bit. Scroll up. Oh, I think your player is not named. Click on your player. Yeah, and scroll up on its name for its name. An inspector. On the inspector.
what?
On the inspector, scroll up. Up. No, yeah, scroll up. No, on your inspector, it's on the right hand side. Yeah. Yeah, so you see it's tagged and this is untagged. Click on untagged right below the name, player. Yeah, and then click on player.
Add tag?
No, player. Yeah. Now press play. Now it shouldn't run into problems. Okay, stop playing. Okay, click on your plane. Oh, you haven't even plane, not player. The green stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you don't even you haven't even baked it. Okay, on the top right, click a check mark the static. Top right, all the way on top, top, next to the name. That's left, right, on the right. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing to the cubes, the blue cubes. Click on them. On the cube. Yeah. And then top right, click on static. Same thing with the others. Okay. Yes. Yeah, only this object, yeah. And same thing with that guy. Okay. Now go to window. On the menu bar. Menu bar. That's on top. Click on window. And then go to AI. And then navigation. Click on it.
I did.
Hmm?
Oh, it's just slow.
Okay. Go to bake. There's a button called bake on the right side. No, on the top. On top. Move your mouse to the top.
I did. It's just really slow.
And click on bake.
Where?
It's on the top right.
Oh,
That's left, Molly. To the right. It says right next to navigation, right below navigation. This is bake. Okay. And then click on bake at the bottom button. Move your mouse down. Yeah. Okay. And then that's it. Now press play. Now you should be able to have your object move.
My computer's breaking again.
Okay. Well, just give it a couple of minutes. It's just baking all the data. Once it does it, then it shouldn't do it anymore. Okay. All right. So anyone else has problems?
Fernando, just wanted to see if they all understand the code. Who can explain every line of the code? Yes. Anybody else?
I can try if after Zain.
That's okay. All right. Zain, you wanted to go over the code really quickly? Everybody pay attention.
Sure. Okay, so this first line is basically creating a variable called agent, and it's a type of Nav Mesh Agent, which is basically like the AI that it uses to like find paths. And then the second line.
Are you looking at Fernando's screen?
No, I'm just looking at my own code, but it's the same, right?
Can
Yeah,
you
it's the
go
same.
to presentation mode and point your mouse?
Yeah. Okay, so this line is just creating the variable.
Thank
right
you.
Here.
Can you zoom in?
Okay, yeah. So this first line is basically just creating a variable of, it's called agent, and it's basically like the thing that finds the path to you. And then this is basically creating another variable, which is like, it has positions and rotations, it saves all that, and it's called player. And so it's a type of transform, so like saves all positions and stuff. And then this is basically setting this agent variable to the Nav Mesh Agent component that we did earlier. We put that in the enemy. And then this is going to set your player transform to, it's going to find a game object with tag, and it's going to make sure it's going to look for one with tag player, and it's going to take that transform values, which are its like rotation and position. It's going to save that into here. And then basically this update, it runs like, I believe every like certain times every second. And what this is doing is it's setting the agent, it's setting this, it's setting its destination to the position of player. So player was the transform, and it's setting it to that position. So that's how it always knows where to go.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Fernando, what do you think?
Yeah, it's correct.
All right.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you. I think somebody needs some help. Who's that? Somebody, the
Reese.
red cube is not working.
Yeah, Reese is this stuff is not working.
Reese?
So before I help you out, Reese, let me just give everyone else that the last well, not the last task, but almost the last task. So what we want to do is let me just resume my presentation. What we want to do is, of course, create some sort of obstacle for the enemy to avoid. So now I don't know if you noticed that when you play the game, this character rams into the cube. The cube does have a physical barrier. It has a box collider, but the enemy doesn't respect that. It just rushes through because it's being controlled by a Nav Mesh agent. So to fix this problem, click on the cube, the moving object, and then add a component, and we're gonna add a Nav Mesh obstacle. Okay, Nav Mesh obstacle, and then the same thing with the other one. So because they're not game out prefabs, you have to do it to each one. Okay, so just make sure you click on Nav Mesh obstacle. Now for these ones, the reason why we didn't click on static, because these objects do move, they're dynamic, so they have to update every time the enemy is updating its position. It has to update the path and see, am I going to run into these objects? If I am, I'm going to avoid it, and it creates a small kind of hole. It doesn't carve into the nav mesh, but it's just going to be like a temporary move over. Okay. The next thing we're going to edit is also the width of the object of the character, the nav mesh. So if you click on the enemy and then go to the settings of the nav mesh agent, one of the objects, one of the properties, it says obstacle avoidance. On the radius, just make it bigger. I put 0.7, 0.8. 0.8 is fine. You can change it to 0.8. Yeah, you can change it to 0.8. Now the obstacle avoidance should be up better, because I don't know if you saw that. If it goes to the edge, it bumps into the edge. But now if you take a look at my screen now, if I run with this, now the what's it called? The AI now is going to try to avoid that object, and it's going to wait until that object goes away, or it's just going to take another path. Okay, that's a little bit smarter. Okay, and then the last thing, all you have, what I would like you guys to do is create more borders. So since this is one game object with your moving objects, you can just make this into one game object, or just copy both of them. All three of them, I mean. Just duplicate, press Ctrl D, and just move it. Ctrl D, move it down. Yeah, and then you can move these objects maybe a little bit to the left, these objects a little bit to the right, so you can have some variance. And then make this a little bit longer, so that the object won't go through. A little longer also, like this. Okay, so you kind of give it a little more dynamic locations. So now the object has to go around this this maze. Okay, so have something like this, and then we'll do our last part, mesh links, where we're going to enable the character to jump off another grid. Okay, let me take a look at yours, Reese. Okay, let's see. Can you click on your enemy? Okay, let's see, you have that. Okay, looks good. Oh, it says object reference not. Okay, that means your player is probably not named. So on the left-hand side, click on your player, on your capsule. Yeah, and then instead of capsule, call it player, and then change its tag to player. Yeah. Okay, and that should be it. Press play. Okay, and now you don't have a nav mesh. So you see on the bottom left, there's red text. It says set destination can only be called on an active agent that has been placed on the nav mesh. That just means you don't have a nav mesh. So click on your green, the square, the plane. Yeah, and then on the top right, you see where it says static. Check that box. On top right, next to the name. Yeah. Do the same thing to the blue boxes. The blue borders. Yeah, click on them. Yeah, and then make sure it's static. So the top right, click on static. Okay, and I think you're missing the last one. Yeah. Okay, so once you have that, click on window. No, don't press play. It's still not gonna work yet. So go to window. Okay, click on window. It's on a menu bar. Click on window.
Where's window?
It's on a menu bar.
Where's the menu bar?
It's up here. This is called the menu bar. Yeah, and then go to AI. And then navigation. Okay, go to bake, the tab called bake. On the right-hand side. That's left, right. Yeah, there's an area called bake. It says agents. Now, click on navigation. Okay, it says agents area bake and object. Click on bake. And then there's a button all the way in the bottom. It's just called bake. Click on bake again. Yep, and then there you go. Now you can press play. And now your box should be able to follow you or look for you, I guess. Okay. All right. So let's finish our last part.
Oh, I just have a quick question.
What's up?
Oh, for some reason it was all working, but then when I added, like, I copied and pasted like everything and pasted it in twice to make like 3 rows, and then when I did that, now my enemy can go through the blue barrier boxes, and they're still static and stuff.
That's the problem I want you guys to run into. So the reason why is click on your go on the top right, click on navigation, and then see how it's the same navigational thing. You added more stuff, but then the mesh hasn't updated. So to update the mesh, just click on bake again, and it's gonna update the mesh according to whatever you have.
So every time you make a little change, you have to update the entire mesh.
Yeah. That's why whenever you make a map, you make it, once you're done, and then you start creating the navigation.
Okay. Also, now whenever I run my program, it takes forever to load. Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah, the reason why it's gonna take forever, or it's loading forever, because some of you guys have the lighting on. So on the bottom left, you see it's auto generating light on, and it's just baking.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's taking a little longer, because your computer is doing all the calculation. So you just have to give it like maybe 10 minutes to fully bake the lights. That it's just gonna do it once and it doesn't do it anymore. It's not like last time's project. Last time project, it took like a long time to bake light. but this time we're not using any fancy stuff. Anyways, yeah. So the last part we want to do is movement. So this part, I'm going to go a little bit fast because we are running out of time. I want to get through this quickly. So I'm just going to duplicate my plane. I'm going to put it to the right, and I'm just going to make this smaller. So I'm going to scale this smaller like this, and move it to the side next to it. So what this is going to happen, what I have to do again is go to navigation and bake again. So now this is a walkable area. So what's going to happen is now if I walk, let me click on my player. So now if I, yeah, if I move my player here, and then I jump across, I jump to the next plane. So let's just say I jump, almost made it. So now, if you see, the cube can't follow me. The cube is there, but I can move here, and the cube is trying to follow me, but it can't follow me anymore. Trying to follow me, but there's no path to get there. So the way to make a path for the character to jump from one point to another, a link, is to create a link. So to make a link, what we're going to do is we're going to right-click, make an empty game object. Okay, we're going to position this game object to be somewhere. This it's going to be the center of where we're going to be where our jump is going to be. So something like that. Okay, and then we're going to call this link. And then we're going to right-click the link and then make another empty game object, and this is going to be point A, just like we did with the other one. And then right-click again, create empty, and it's going to be point B. Okay. So now we have point A and point B. Make sure they're children of link. So if you don't have them as children, just drag them and put it inside link. Okay. So just like I have in my screen, where I have the arrow pointing down, and then I have point A and point B with indentation. That means they're children of link. Okay, not link, but
is link supposed to be an empty object?
Yeah, link is going to be an empty game object. Okay. What I like to do is also put icons on this stuff. So I'm going to put point A and point B with icons, so you can see what's going on. So for example, here point A is like way off. It's in the bottom here, so my perspective is wrong. Okay. So once you have that, put point A and point B where the jump is going to happen. So for example, my point A is going to be here, and my point B is going to be somewhere around here. Okay, this is basically creating a link between these two objects. Okay. So now, let's make this a little bit closer. Something like this. Okay. So now, let's just say this is good. And now to create our link, unlink, it was an empty game object, but now we're going to add a component. So add component, and we're going to look for mesh link. Okay, it's going to be called off mesh link. Okay, so the object that's named link was an empty game object, but now we're going to add a component. It's called off mesh link, so add that. Now an off mesh link now has two objects. It says start and end, and it has none and none. So just click and drag A into start and then B into end. Okay. So now you have these two objects as a link. So now if you go back to navigation, now this little circle gets drawn. So now it's able to tell you, now it's going to tell you, hey, now it's going to draw an arrow saying, now you can jump from one point to the other or transport yourself from one point to another using this link. Okay. Now with this one, it can only move from this point to this point. It can, if you're trying to make like a bridge thing, then it becomes an actual object. But for this, it's only one point to another. Okay. Of course, you can move point B to another location and make it further like this, so you can make it a little better for the character to jump. Okay. So now when I press play, you don't have to bake it again. So when I press play, I can go to the other location, and then you see my cube now follows. I go back, my cube can follow again. I go to that another location, my cube can follow. Okay. And this is basically.
Fernando, what's the point of the link?
Sorry.
What's the point of the link? What does it even do?
Okay, the point of the link is it's supposed to transport you from one point to another. So let's just say I have this this mesh all the way up here. Well, that's too high. Somewhere up here, and then this point A, I'm gonna drag it up here, like this, and I'm gonna rebake my my mesh. So like this. So I can jump. Let's see if I can even jump that high. Yeah, I can jump. Yeah. But then my character can now also go to that location. So now you might be saying like, hey, you can just create a ramp and then he can just go up there. The whole purpose of this is to actually to create one point. This is like more like teleporting. So it teleports from one location to another. But if you want to add, because what you're looking for is animation. So like how like it's gonna like when does it jump? So if you actually take a look at my other project when I was working before this, so let me show you.
Well, I can't
This object here.
connect
I'm sorry?
one plane to the other one.
Just use like I said, just use the link. So link and then just put A and B. So this is what you're looking for, Parshar. So you have two objects and then you have your planes, right? And you have a link. So now when I press play, I'll show you what happens. So here I added. Okay, cool. My Unity crashed. Nice. Let me open it again. Okay. So now this thing, did it save? Hopefully it saved. No, it didn't save. Damn it. Okay.
Zane's
That's when
PC
I wanted
also
to show you
blue
guys.
screen. So like everything's going wrong.
I am on PC. It's just I forgot to say I have a bad tendency of not saving my stuff. I should you should always save. Press Control S whenever you can. If this thing crashes, then you lose all your data. Well, my code is still there, but I just have to remake my whole level. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is this, Parashar. So what you're expecting is your character to go here and then do this kind of movement, right? So this kind of movement only exists as an animation. It doesn't really, this doesn't happen. Because if a character does this, this is too much calculation for the computer to do. You can, if you have one object and your game is super simple, that's totally fine. But in a large scale game where let's just say you have a bunch of army people like fighting against each other, kind of like Total War. If you ever played Total War games, this is too much calculation for Unity. So what you do instead is you just cheat. So this thing just goes to from point A to point B, right? It teleports itself, and then you add the animation. So you add the box going down and then going up like this to kind of simulate that jumping. So we're actually going to see that next time when we're going to work with 3D models. With 3D models, you're able to see that animation work while your character controller is literally not doing anything. Your character controller is just moving around, and your animations is making you look like it's walking, look like it's jumping, but it's not actually looking, moving or jumping. They're just like tricks that you're seeing. There's no jumping, Molly. To do a jumping, I have to make an animation, but my thing crashed. My Unity crashed, so I can't show you.
Wait, can anyone hear me?
No. Yes, we can.
I was moving around some of my pointers, and my PC blue screened, and I just had to come back.
Nice. So yeah, yeah, make sure to save your stuff whenever you can. So let me see if I can show you the animation I made for the character for the cube. I actually made some animation for this.
I still can't get the link to do its job.
Okay, I'll be with you in a moment. Yeah, everything crashed, and my animation didn't save. Nice. Okay, let me go back to you. So who was this? Edward, was it? You're asking for help?
Yeah.
Okay, can you share your screen? So let me see what you have. Okay, what is the thing? Trying to get your link to work? Wow, that's a lot of people.
It just won't come over here, so I can't
Mm.
mesh.
Did you bake your mesh? Yeah, it looks like you didn't bake it. Bake it again. Oh, this make sure to have it as static. You probably don't have it as static.
Oh, okay.
Fernando.
There you go. Yeah, what's up?
My program's
There you go.
completely gone. I never saved.
Nice. Well,
I have nothing.
Welcome to my stuff. Okay. Let me try to save the one I'm working on, and then I'll upload it to Google Drive, and you can just use that one instead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll zip everything, and then just like Reese did, where he just started working where I left off. You can do that. So
Okay.
let me save all this stuff. Okay, so does anyone else's doesn't work? So I can help you out. Are they able to jump, Edward?
No, they're just standing.
They just stand there?
Yeah.
Okay, let me double check something. Just finish doing this stuff.
Even in the Nav Mesh, I don't see the thing where it's supposed to show able to
Okay,
jump.
go to inspector. Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't have a link. So click on add component. Yeah, and then off mesh link. Yeah. Okay, now go back to navigation. Okay, now click and drag. Oh, sorry, no. Go back to inspector. Yeah, click and drag point A into start and then point B into end. Yeah. No. There you go. Perfect. Now go to navigation. Okay.
Oh,
If you go to navigation now, it'll show you the arrow that's now now it's working. Uh-huh. Yeah. Now it should work.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's not that hard. I thought you already knew how to do that.
Okay, Zane,
They say
Zane, Reese, or Zane. I just uploaded the newest version.
Yep.
Or I'm uploading. Yeah, it should
okay.
be uploaded now.
Are you gonna send a link?
No, it's on the Google Drive. The link oh, yeah, I forgot you crashed.
Yeah. All the chat gets wiped when you leave.
Nice. There you go. I shared the link, so now you should have the project. You should be able to.
Okay.
All right.
I gotta change accounts.
Yeah. Okay, Adrian, did you get it to work? Do you have any questions? Yeah. What's up?
For the link, what else do you need? So you have to have it as static, and then just the off mesh link, right?
No, the plane should be static. The link is not static.
Okay, the plane should be static. Yeah, that's
the plane is static.
But then the link is just the off mesh link, right? That's it.
Yeah, it should be off mesh link, and then make sure you add point A and point B to the correct location. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it says start and then end. Just make sure you have it in the right place, and then the link should be able to work. Okay. Gavin, do you have any questions? Does everything work?
Everything works for me. I'm just waiting on the code thing, on the code thing you wanted me to download.
Okay, yeah. So I'll do it right after we finish this. Molly, everything works?
Yeah.
Okay. In Parashar, everything's working, right?
Yep.
Okay, Reese and Zane? Are we good?
It's currently downloading.
Oh, okay. So yours is still... yours should work anyways, because it's, it was working on my screen, so it should work on your screen. Just if it asks you to upgrade, just upgrade it, because my version of Unity, it's a lower version. It's a 2019 version.
Okay.
You guys have the new 2020 version. And then Reese, you're okay, right? that is a yes. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. Let me, if you have any questions, just you can always email me with questions. It's a good idea to start practicing your own stuff too. So like all these little stuff, you can start applying into your own game or start making your own little game, kind of putting everything together. Okay, so there's no more questions. Thanks for coming, guys, and then we'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow
Thank
we have
you.
another class. Tomorrow we have another class at 10 o'clock. So if you're interested in coming, you can.
All right,
If not,
thanks
we'll see you guys
everybody.
next week.
Make sure that you practice. If you don't practice, you're going to lose it after a week. So make sure you practice on your own. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let me stop recording and then I'll help you out.